Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Lunchtime with Dr. Nadine and our special guest, Yvette. Bryan joining us all the way from Jamaica. So as you're coming in, let us know in the chat, where are you joining us from today? We want to know who's having lunch with us and where in the world you're joining us from. So I'll tell you a little bit about Yvette as you just drop your comments in, your location, etc. Yvette is the creator of Healthy Family Relationships and Life. She's a life preservation strategist. She's on a journey to helping Christian women globally who have suffered a series of deaths in their families to help them chart a path that can help them prevent unnecessary deaths in their family. We know we can't prevent death, but there are things sometimes that we can do to actually help our loved ones do better in taking care of themselves. And so she's on a journey to helping families reestablish relationships as a tool to preserve life. So Yvette, welcome and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Dr. Nadine. Thank you so much for this opportunity where I can be introduced to the world.
Awesome. So tell our viewers a little bit about your background. I gave you a little professional intro, but I'm sure they would love to know a little more. And viewers, as you're coming in, drop in the chat so we can give you a shout out. Let us know where you're joining us from. So Yvette, tell our viewers a little bit about your background.
Okay. So I'm from the beautiful island of Jamaica, as Dr. Nadine said earlier. I grew up in a very large family. Lots of boys and girls, mother and father. And I clearly remembered that the only grave that I saw was that of my grandfather. So I did not know any of my grandfathers. So we were always a happy bunch. And for those persons who are very close to me, I'm sure they will be a little taken back because this is not Yvette. I'm not the one to be on camera. I'm not the one to take pictures. So I'm just stepping out, all out today.
Wow. Yeah, you are. You're stepping out today. I'm smiling because I'm actually here just trying to figure out who are the ladies joining us today. And also just excited just to hear you say it up front. This is really not you. So you're doing something totally outside of your comfort zone, and
Yes,
I am proud of you. So you're from Jamaica. You grew up in a large family. You were doing you.
Yeah.
What brought you into my world? Like, what happened? How did that even happen?
So this is interesting. I lost my eldest sister in December 2021. And this is something that we shared growing up together. We would do Vespers or devotion. Some people might look at it as devotions together, especially at Friday nights. So this particular Friday evening, I rushed home because there was this particular program on that would start very early, my time.
Yeah.
I got home, did my personal devotion, then I clicked on, only to find out that this program was not coming on. So I started browsing, and up popped this particular program with Dr. Nadine Collins, and she was talking about how to pray. And I'm saying, how to pray? Almost everybody knows how to pray. But she began talking about having a relationship with Christ. And when you have this particular relationship, you can be relaxed. It's not a monologue. So instead of just praying and you're alone doing the talking, you spend time to listen. And I'm saying, this lady is speaking what I would want to hear. Then she went on to say, I talk to God about everything, my undies, my hair. And I'm saying, what? She said, God cares about every aspect of our lives. And I'm saying, this is in my jotting. But Yvette, this is not how your prayer life is going. And I was glued. And I stayed on the program until the very end. Immediately thereafter, I Googled Nadine Collins. And I went on and on and on. No, I'm somebody who goes to bed very early on a Friday evening. I went to bed about quarter to 12 that particular night.
Mhm.
I listened to sermons. I listened to so many things that were done by Dr. Nadine. I went on to what is called Runway to Soar. When I read through Runway to Soar, I said, this describes Yvette perfectly. Turned off the computer and I went to bed and I prayed. I said, God, if this is where you are leading me, then I'm ready. I went to bed and I think you'll pick up from here, Dr. Nadine.
Yes, awesome. So that's how you came into my world.
Yes,
Just you come in, I guess, seeing the program on TV, then getting into Runway to Soar. And
yeah,
sometime after that, we had a discovery call, and you
yes,
were telling me about, your journey into that space. And so
yes.
you found yourself not only doing Runway to Soar, but then you came into the speaker program. What were you looking for when you came into the speaker program?
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack just a little.
That's fine.
I sent you a text and I've never gotten a response so quickly. So I was totally surprised. I sent the text, but I did not expect a response. You did not just respond to the text. You said, "Can I call you?" I said, "What?" I said, "Yes," but I was a little hesitant. You called and you said, "I'm at a conference. However, somehow I knew I need to speak with you." You heard just a short, I explained just a summary of what I was about. You
Mhm.
prayed with me and then you promised that you will call. And I did not feel as if this lady is not going to call me back. I knew you were going to call me. Now, this is a discovery call where
Mhm.
you can express yourself, explain what is going on. This is supposed to be, I think, 45 minutes. I don't know if you remember Dr. Collins, but you went nearly 1.5 hours. I broke down.
Hmm.
I cried, and you stayed on the phone with me. Now, the program that I signed up for, Runway to Soar, you said to me, this is divine. I don't remember the term you used,
Mhm.
because you were about to start the speaker mentorship program.
Mhm.
And a part of this program, I would not only get speaker mentorship, I would get something that is called Certified Prayer Counselor course.
Mhm.
Then it was in December, and you invited me to this dress up party. So I dressed up, and I was treated as if the ladies knew me long ago. I said, Lord, this is what I needed. I was now into a community of ladies who were like minded.
Mhm.
These were ladies who would have gone through similar situation as I went through. They would have gone through divorce, abuse, so many things.
Mhm.
And they embraced me as
Mhm.
if they knew me long ago.
Wow. Wow. So you're talking about the Pregnant with Purpose
Pregnant with purpose.
virtual event. Yes. So
Yes,
if you never joined
yes,
us for one, we've had three already. You really want to join us for the upcoming one in December because, as Yvette said, we dress up in our gowns and heels even though we be on the camera and we have a jolly good time. You don't want
Yes,
to
we
miss
did.
that. Mhm.
We did.
So you came into that community after we had our chat, and then you came into the speaker mentorship program.
Program. Yes.
What was it like for you in the speaker mentorship program? Being shy, not being one to love being on camera, but what was it like for you? Okay, just coming into the program. Then we're going to talk about your journey in it in a bit. But you came into the program. You took a brave step. What was
Yes.
it like for you coming in? What barriers did you have to break mentally for you to even get into the program?
Okay. So fear was one. As I said before, I didn't like to be on camera. I didn't like pictures. So you taught us about fear, and that is what is holding us back. So I had to overcome fear.
Mhm,
Then you explained to us that the foundation of all that we are doing is prayer
mhm,
and allowing God to direct us to what our purpose is in this life.
mhm,
There are problems in this life that only you can solve.
mhm.
So there is a particular problem or problems out there that only Yvette can solve. And
Yeah.
if I do not get rid of these fears, then these problems will be left unsolved. You you allow us to I'm going to say that you have this thing about you where you pull buried emotions, stories, you pull that out of us because you wanted us to share what we were going through. And I had just gone through the death of my eldest sister.
Mm,
I did not want to share that
mhm.
I had also gone through 7 other deaths
Wow.
because just sharing, I know I would have gotten emotional.
Mhm,
And these 7 deaths, I did not share it with the church. I might have
mhm,
shared 1 or 2 with my church. I
mhm,
just kept it inside
mm.
of. So on one particular weekend, I would have lost a cousin, a brother, and an aunt.
Wow.
And you allow us to just write, just express ourselves.
Mhm,
And we should be, you encouraged us that this is a safe space
mhm,
and feel free to share. And what I find was that each time I share, it
mhm.
was as if a burden. I was unburdening myself.
Hallelujah.
And I would cry, not on camera.
Mhm,
After each session, I would
mhm,
just cry because I did not know that out there we had persons like this
mhm,
who would just listen and
mm,
who would just encourage you along. Yes, I had persons at church. They
mhm,
were praying for me. They
mhm,
would call me up. They would assure me that they are praying for me. But when you are going through grief,
mm,
grief does not have a timeline.
mm.
And so
Wow.
people will be with you if maybe you grieve for 2 months, 3 months. But who would really stick by you if this grief is going to go on for 6 months,
Wow.
for a year, for
Mhm,
2 years? Who would
mhm,
stick by you? Yet I found a community who would
mhm,
be there
mhm.
for me. And it doesn't matter how long I would be grieving for.
Amen.
I,
That's
the speaker mentorship program, I don't know. I would recommend it to any woman out there who need a safe space. And this safe space, I am telling you, it is safe. You can express anything and feel free to express yourself because you are going to be getting help. Because I don't know what God was calling me into. I don't know what my topics were.
mhm,
I don't know where He was leading me. I don't know.
mhm.
But I got all the help that I needed. I I was taken on a journey that I do not have words enough to describe. I don't.
Hmm. Yvette, you almost made me cry because it's just listening to you, even though I knew, part of the story is just hearing it again. It's like fresh. And I can only imagine what you're going through, just being so brave today to just share, losing seven loved ones in a
And then my
short.
sister would have been the eighth one.
That is insane. So
Yeah.
now you're going through that program. All of these emotions are coming up. And you made sacrifices, financial
I did.
sacrifices. You made sacrifices of time because sometimes you were in places where you couldn't speak, but you would still show up on camera and you were
Yeah.
going through the process behind the scenes writing. And folks are listening that you're getting cheered on right now. Cindy's saying she's sending you hugs, you
Thank
know.
you.
We have Marcia joining us there from Jamaica. We have other Jamaicans join us as well. We're not always able to see. Sonia is also joining us there
Thank
from
you.
Jamaica. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you have your sisters on right now.
Yes.
So, Yvette, you came into the program. It created that safe space for you. You were
Yeah.
able to just express yourself, also just dig in and take out.
Yes.
It brought you now to this space of what it is you're actually going to do in the world. Talk to us about how you're going to help people because you lost eight family members in a short space of time. You mentioned specifically something that so many can identify with, that grief has no time period.
Yeah.
And losing eight family members in a short space of time is nothing easy. So talk to us about your journey. Like what was the maybe your biggest aha moment, your wow moment in the speaker program? What was that for you?
Well, one of my wow moment was when you said to us that it is important that we are able to distinguish the voice of God.
Mm,
That resonated with me
mhm,
because I was having I was having issues where I knew something was going to happen. For
mm,
example, I knew somebody in the family was going to die, but
wow.
I did not know who it was. So
Hmm.
when you said we should be able to distinguish the voice of God, I said yes. You also said that you gave us an example. You said Elijah, I don't remember if it's Elisha or Elijah,
Elijah. Yeah.
was in the cave.
Hmm.
And the Lord spoke to him in a very hushed voice, a still voice. You said that if you are not having an intimate relationship with God, you won't hear that voice
Hmm.
because that voice, you are able to hear it amidst the hustle and bustle of what's happening around you.
Hmm.
So distinguishing the voice of God was one of those wow moments for me.
Right.
Also, acting upon faith is
Hmm.
another wow moment for me.
Hmm.
You ask us some questions that were maybe simple to those who are on the program now. You said, who are you? So
Mm.
I'm saying, who am I? I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You said, no, everybody is fearfully and wonderfully made.
Hmm.
Who are you?
Hmm.
So I said, um, I'm a banker. So should I say I was confused.
Hmm.
Then you brought it out to us that guess what? We oftentimes describe ourselves using roles. So
Hmm.
we're quick to say, I'm a mom, I'm married. No, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. But they do not describe who you are.
Hmm.
You are specially made. So who are you? So I was able to come up with, yes, I'm compassionate. I
Hmm.
love to solve problems.
Hmm.
So maybe these are what describes me.
Hmm.
So this is another wow moment for me.
Hmm.
Who are you?
Hmm.
The next thing is that you ask us to write a letter to fear. I'm saying a letter to fear And then I did it. And I'm saying, look at what this letter is doing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a simple process, a simple task, but it is deep. So
Mm-hmm.
you brought us deeper and deeper and deeper into examining ourselves, who we really are and
Mm-hmm.
who we are supposed to represent in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Another wow moment for me is that you ask us to picture ourselves, like when we get up, where would we want to be? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, I would want to be in a first world country, but you took us further than that. So when I was going through the speaker mentorship program, it seemed to me like it was a puzzle.
Wow.
It was a puzzle. But as I get into the middle, I was
Mm-hmm.
able to fit those
Mm-hmm.
puzzle, the
Yes.
the pieces of the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah.
And not to mention when I was getting closer to the end. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about a program that you did not just take us here and leave us dangling in mid-here.
Mm-hmm.
We were told how to choose our colors. We were told how to ensure that we are speaking, we have a message.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, my message is about healthy family relationships
Mm-hmm.
and life preservation.
Mm-hmm.
So, my experience is about death.
Mm-hmm.
So, you would know that at any funerals, it doesn't matter how together the family may seem
Mm-hmm.
seated in church, there
Mm.
is always a disagreement.
Wow.
Always a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you have had this discussion, especially with the individual before they are now deceased,
Mm-hmm.
it makes life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take just 1 minute to say, my sister wanted no elaborate anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when she died, I knew exactly what she wanted. So it did not matter what others were saying about me. I
Right.
was close to her, so I knew what she wanted.
Right.
So my message is, have conversations with your loved ones. When
Yes.
they are gone, we cannot speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
Have conversations. Do not wait until it is too late.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you see somebody at a funeral and they are crying. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know what they're crying about? They
Mm-hmm.
did not spend enough time with the loved one. And it's a feeling of guilt. And
Mm-hmm.
so they are crying because they know that they are not able to speak to this person anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After this program, I found myself being able to empathize with persons who are going through this situation so much more. I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to speak with them on a different level.
Right.
Marcia is supposed to be on the program, and Marcia went through something similar, and she did something big in my life. She
Mm-hmm.
cheered me along the way. She helped me because she
Man.
went through. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying to you, spend time with your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to them, because when they are speaking to you, they do not know that it is the Holy Spirit that is allowing them to have this discussion with you. They don't know when they are going to die. And
Mm-hmm.
so when death comes, you would have had these jottings, or
Mm-hmm.
it would be in your head. So
Mm-hmm.
you would know exactly what to do. I'm saying, if it is that you are able to prepare your what do you call it? You are able to have your health insurance. You
Mm-hmm.
are able to have your will.
Mm-hmm.
You are able to have your life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that you are able to have these discussions,
Mm-hmm.
so that when death strikes, the same way it is seamless with
Mm-hmm.
a will, or it is seamless with your life insurance, because you would have had your beneficiaries in place,
Mm-hmm.
then I am not saying death is going to be seamless, but it
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a lot easier on you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you're so powerful. I could just sit here and listen to you. It's just amazing. I can hear you doing workshops and seminars. I can hear you speaking, helping people, especially our people from the Caribbean. We're not ready to have these kinds of discussions. We act as if we talk about death, then it's gonna come. But the truth is, it's inevitable. And so I
Yeah.
can see you as that sounding board and that voice that is going to really prepare our people to understand the importance of having conversations before, death comes. And most times we're just left like we don't even know what to do. The person is
Yeah.
gone. We don't know anything about how to tap into the life insurance, how to take care of this, how to take care of that, the funeral. And there's more quarreling after the death
Yes.
because now we need money for the funeral. And this one is, and so I think that this is such an important message, especially within the Caribbean context, because we do not like to sit and talk about death. Now, I know a
No.
big part of what you do, it's really about those relationships that you talk about in terms of preserving life. Can you
Yeah.
speak to us a little bit about that part of your message?
Okay. So, so for example, I I was prompted by the Holy Spirit to call my sister.
Mm-hmm,
And I called her. I said to her, I'm going to get my hair done and I'll be late. And when she got home, she called me and
mm-hmm,
she said, I'm home, because this is something that we practice.
mm-hmm,
And when I got home, she was sick.
mm-hmm,
I had to rush her to the hospital.
mm-hmm.
The following day, she was dead,
Wow.
dead. So, what can we do to preserve life?
Mm-hmm,
We we might not be able to speak to our loved ones when they are here about certain things that's happening in their lives. But if we have that relationship with them, we will know who is it that they would share certain things with.
mm-hmm,
So you can now speak to that particular person or those persons, and those persons in turn will be able to speak to your loved one.
mm-hmm.
Because yes, you're close to your loved one, and everybody expects that you share everything. But I'm saying to you, there might be something that is not shared with you, but it is shared with somebody else.
Right.
And this is how preserving life comes in.
Mm-hmm,
If we have that conversation, I'm back at conversation. If we have that conversation, we'll be able to pick up certain things so that when we tap into those, then we will work on preserving life. We'll be able to help them. Um, for example, maybe you are not the one who the person would ask, accompany me to the hospital, to the doctor.
mm-hmm,
It might be somebody else.
mm-hmm,
Don't you think you need to be having a conversation with that person who is accompanying your loved one to doctor's visit?
mm-hmm.
Because something might be said to that individual that you don't know about. And if
Right.
only you knew about that, then you would be preserving life some way, somehow.
So basically, you're just talking about us being able to have what we should be having, which is good relationships with one
Yes,
another. So we're
yes,
able to share. One
yes.
of our Facebook users, I was literally trying to go online to see if I could see who it was is saying, and I suspect that's maybe in our group because it would be something that would come up there. Is that in the African context, it is not also a topic that is readily discussed. And so you see here, right here is indications. I'm just trying to see who online. Right here is an indication of the importance of that topic that you have and the places that you need to be actually speaking. Because so many of us, I was trying to pull up on Facebook to see who it was. But the point
Okay.
is that the discussion needs to happen. And in a lot of, like, say, the Caribbean context, in African context. I know in North America, people do more to speak about it. So I'm sure there's so much work that you can do and just seeing best practices around to help you influence that type of discussion. Somebody else is saying it's important to build relationship with our loved ones. Thanks, Yvette, for the reminder. And so, Yvette, you have a powerful job to do. I would love to tell our viewing audience where they can find you, because you need to be speaking in our different organizations, helping people understand the importance of building these family relationships. I wish we had more time, because I would have loved to know how you dealt with those 8 deaths. But it
Okay.
seems that 30 minutes flies really quickly when you're actually having a good time. And so talk to us about where people can find you, so that they can reach out to you
Okay.
to get information.
So they can send me an email,
Mm-hmm.
and the email address is
Mm-hmm.
preservelife365 at
Mm-hmm.
gmail.com.
Awesome. So here we have it, preserve life 365. So you're preserving life round the clock at
Yes.
gmail.com. I love it. Yvette, it has been such an amazing experience just having you here today. I am sure everyone would agree that we could listen to you speak all day. Your voice is calming, you're poised and confident, and your message is clear. And so, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be part of your journey. And even now, we prepare to have ladies in the next cohort starting early June, the first week in June. What would you say to the ladies? Because we have spots for a few more women, and we're looking for women who have stories like you, who probably don't even know where to begin. What would you say to that woman who's listening right now?
I am saying to all women out there who are listening, it it is something that you cannot afford to leave this earth without being a part of. This is where the stories that are buried inside of you, this is where these stories will be unearthed. This is where you will get a message, a clear message that you can take to the world. As I said earlier, there are so many problems out there to be solved, and it is you that God is waiting on, that will be going out there to solve these problems. Would you want to leave this earth without solving that particular problem? The stories are buried inside of us. So it's very important that you book a discovery call. The discovery calls are free. Book a discovery call with Dr. Nadine. You won't regret it. It is a powerful platform, the speaker mentorship program. And I can assure you, you're going to get more than you bargained for.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yvette. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your presence and even your affirmation. I'm excited for you and the work that you have to do. Now, the job is for you to just put yourself out there. This is it. Your message is powerful. Your message is
Thank you.
clear. We need you just doing the thing that you've been brought here to do, helping
Thank you.
families preserve their relationships and
Yes.
possibly prevent untimely or early deaths by having conversations. Viewers, we so thank you for being here with us. And I'm sure we could all hear you again. So we're looking forward to your lives on Facebook. We're looking forward to hearing more about you and what you're doing and how we can actually get into your workshops, your programs, whatever you're doing, so that you can help
Okay.
change the world by changing family relations. Again, thank you so much. Viewers, see you
Thank you.
tomorrow at 12 noon EST, where we host another lady who's going to share her powerful story with you. God bless you, ladies. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Okay. Bye-bye.